This is U3 camp, one of 6 providing shelter for around 73,000 people in this area of Kurdish-controlled northern Iraq. All fled the fighting in and around Mosul. There is no electricity here. That means no fans, no air conditioners. The summer heat is intense and threatening lives. Nora is a volunteer nurse making her daily round.
The most difficult cases are the newborns. They are suffering in the heat and a lot of children are getting dehydrated. The heat is so harsh.
In this tent we meet Zahadia, her daughter Farah and granddaughter Ruqayya, who was born in the camp a month ago.
We had to take her to hospital. She had a bladder infection and she was screaming. The doctors told us she got the infection because of the heat. We are still worried when her temperature rises.
Children cool themselves under taps at one of the water stations. Ice is delivered twice a week for free, but people have to pay if they want it brought to the camp every day. Families shelter in the shade as the temperature rises in the early afternoon.
Temperatures now are regularly hitting around 50 degrees, and that means the life for 7,000 or so people living in this camp in these flimsy tents, it's almost unbearable. Now, the UN say the reason why it's taken so long for electricity to be supplied here so they can get coolers inside these tents is because of lack of financial resources. They also say there have been complications in trying to link up with the local electricity grid because of the conflict.
Many areas are without electricity in and around Mosul because of damage caused by the fighting. The UN says that it needs at least another $500 million to meet the humanitarian needs of the approximately 3.5 million people forced to flee fighting in Iraq.
Because of the extensive heat and the high temperature and the people lack of electricity, they are suffering from hypertension, dizziness, heat stroke. Every day we are receiving a lot of patients complaining of these things.
This baby was born in the camp hours before we arrived. Many here are afraid to be interviewed because of ISIL sleeper cells where they used to live. The UN says it's hopeful electricity will be supplied to this camp soon. Many Iraqis have nothing in Mosul to return to because their homes have been destroyed, so they have no choice but to endure the summer heat here and risk their health. Charles Stratford, Al Jazeera, Northern Iraq.